Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture.
And don't forget, if you want to listen to the news as a podcast whilst you're out and about, you can do so by searching for WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. But coming up today, what happened after AEW Dynamite went off the air?
I'm going to tell you about the unlikely WWE return that has been set for WrestleMania weekend.
And the Bella Twins look set to return to WWE TV this week. This is the news.
And we're going to kick things off by talking about the Dark Order, your favourite story in all of professional wrestling. They had quite the evening last night. There was a tag team battle royal on AEW Dynamite. The winners getting number one contendership to the tag titles. At ringside, Evil Uno, a couple of the creepers, Grayson, the fella they have in their videos, grey suit jacket, lovely hair, very slick guy, cuts a promo, distracts SCU. SCU get eliminated by Dark Order members Alex Reynolds and John Silver. John Silver. Sorry, John. You're very good. He's honestly very good. Love him and beyond. At this point, as the camera's kind of focusing around, and SCU jump the barricade and attack the Dark Order, who does the camera catch? Sitting at ringside, leading to speculation that this person might indeed be the Exalted One, the leader of the Dark Order. Was it Matt Hardy?
Nope.
Was it Brody Lee?
No.
Was it Marty Scurll?
No.
It was Raven. Where the hell did this come from? Raven was sitting there in his shirt. He was watching the action, just kind of watching this beatdown go down. The camera caught him several times, and adding further fuel to the fire was AEW's Twitter account after the show. They tweeted out, "Did you see it? The Exalted One is always watching," with footage of what went down, with footage of Raven watching, Raven the Exalted One watching on. And they're just messing with us here, right?
I love this.
So do I.
Dynamite was amazing last night,
great.
By the way, especially as a paid AEW shill. I'm very glad about that.
Thank you, Tony.
But, yeah, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I mean, as much sense as it can in this ridiculous storyline. But I love it. I think it's wonderful. Raven, of course, infamously can cut some weird promos.
Yeah, he's one of the best character guys of his era. And the whole thrown aside, discarded by society thing, that was his whole shtick anyway. So it kind of makes sense that he'd fit in with the Dark Order, and he's probably still an incredible promo and an incredible character and stuff. I think AEW are just messing with us here. Maybe Raven they knew he was going to be in the house. They had a little bit of fun. But we'll see what happens when the Exalted One is finally revealed. Either way, I think he's a little bit more interesting than some of the other options. Matt Hardy would be cool, but it's Raven.
It's another one of those things, isn't it, where you can still... This isn't saying that Matt Hardy can't come in and can't be involved, can't have his own storyline even with AEW and possibly even the Dark Order. But as an immediate solution to the question of who is the Exalted One, you can't go far wrong with Raven. I'm annoyed. I was so close. I had Maven as the Exalted One. Just off. Right, a double payday for us AEW shills now. Because we get to talk about what happened after AEW Dynamite went off the air. As we said, one of the best Dynamites they've ever done, arguably.
Yeah,
last
it was
night.
tremendous.
A phenomenal
Really
tag
good.
team title match, the Battle Royal, of course, and the main event, which was Cody in a steel bloody cage defeating Wardlow. It was a magnificent. MJF had the look on his face afterwards where he realised, I'm buggered. I'm buggered at Revolution. But anyway, after that sensational steel cage match, which ended with Cody moonsaulting off the top to take out Wardlow, he cut a promo. Of course, they were in Atlanta, a legendary place to be for wrestling, and he cut a promo. First off, thanking the production staff and the people working there in Atlanta. But then a really emotional, heartfelt promo talking about how Arn Anderson and the Four Horsemen broke his dad's leg in Atlanta, of course. But also about how his love of wrestling began there after watching one of his dad's matches. Some of the crowd were in tears. It was just a lovely, lovely touch. And it went over huge, didn't it?
Yeah, by all accounts, it was a really effective thing. People who were in the building were saying it was really emotional. It just swept over the whole thing. Nobody left. Loads of people stuck around for this thing. AEW have put a clip up on their YouTube channel, I believe, so if you want to check it out, it's there.
It's only 4 minutes. It's well worth a watch.
It's just really good stuff. Really good stuff. Love the Cody, love the match, love the show, love the AEW.
It was literally that was the second best thing about this show. What was the best thing? We'll get to it in the and finally segment later.
Yes, we most certainly will, but we're going to move on now. We're going to talk about WrestleMania weekend. We're going to talk about a really weird set of returns that WWE looks set to pull off in some shape or form.
Somebody call my mama.
It's indeed Ernest the Cat Miller. No, it's Brodus, Clay, and Cameron. According to a new report from PW Insider, the duo have been booked to do something over WrestleMania weekend in Tampa. There's currently no word on what exactly they're going to be doing. Presumably, Cameron's going into the Hall of Fame. Well deserved. But, you know, you've got to think that probably maybe they'll go into one of the Battle Royals, something like that. They've done that in the past. Remember, Tatanka showed up randomly one year?
Yeah.
It was weird. They might do that. Naomi is still in the active roster. Maybe they'll do a Funkadactyls reunion. They probably shouldn't because she's got bigger fish to fry. And
Please no.
Long since outgrown that gimmick and so forth. But it's a weird one. Because
I saw someone tweeting saying Brodus Clay defeated Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble or something years and years ago.
Coming back
Let's
for
not run
revenge.
that one back, shall we? We've got more important stuff.
Could we insert him into the Brock match? Triple threat, maybe. But it's, look, and we can't not mention this, right? People are going to be annoyed, but we can't not mention this. This is kind of terrible timing to be bringing Brodus Clay back, given that he has been subjected to alleged sexual harassment claims from Fox, his fellow Fox employee, Britt McHenry, who is suing Fox News. Some of the alleged text messages that he sent to this woman, some of his behaviors are repulsive and horrendous and objectively terrible. Not sure about bringing him back at this time around, boys, but that seems to be what they're going to do. So
It's WWE, like you say, they're going to do what they're going to do. You know, putting that to one side, you can't disregard it, as you said. I was, rather enjoyed his character. Yeah. The Funkadactyls and all that.
It was fun back in the day.
And like you say, for a little pop in a battle royal or something could be great, but like you say, just very awkward time.
These alleged sexual harassment things are minging.
Right, let's move on and talk about the Bella Twins, who are set to return to WWE TV this week, as confirmed on WWE.com. Nikki and Brie are going to feature as guests on a special edition of Moment of Bliss on this Friday's episode of SmackDown, with Alexa digging for, and I quote, juicy news.
Hey.
Now, of course, big recent few months for the Bellas. They are both pregnant at the same time. And they have been linked with an induction into WWE's Hall of Fame. Neither Bella, of course, has wrestled since late 2018. And, well, they won't be wrestling on this show.
No.
Because they're pregnant.
No, yeah.
So I was genuinely, I read this and I went, oh, maybe they're going to do something with, oh, no, they're pregnant. You're an idiot.
Yeah, I was like, I saw the graphic of this actually before I saw the headline, and I saw Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss opposite the Bella Twins. I was like, oh, that'll be a cool tag. They're pregnant. Yes, no, it won't.
Best way to utilise them, though, I think it's really good.
Yeah, because they've played big roles in the past and so forth. They're probably going into the Hall of Fame. Appearances like this will add fuel to the fire that they're going in the Hall of Fame. Good for them.
And, scope for someone to interrupt them and set up a match with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a couple of best friends, former tag team champions who haven't been seen on TV in quite some time.
Do you want to know when their last match was?
When was it?
November.
You wonder why SmackDown's gone crap. Get them back. Do you know how good it would be? It'd be so good. It'd be iconic. Right, let's move on to the Twitter questions. At WhatCulture WWE. I've missed that. If you want to get in touch with us. First question today comes from Rob Marolf on Twitter, who says, well, what are your thoughts on why NXT is being allowed to steadily outshine the main roster without any changes to improve Raw or SmackDown? Do you think it's possibly intentional as an attempt to solidify NXT as an equal brand rather than as a developmental product?
That's really interesting. I think the idea of it outshining is, of course, deeply subjective. So while we'll look at an average takeover and go, that was amazing, and then we'll look at an average main roster pay-per-view and go, yeah, it was pretty good. The people within the company, the people who are writing these mainline shows, probably think that the main roster is doing better creatively and so forth. So
it's not.
It's not. No, it's definitely not. But it's all in the eye of the beholder at the end of the day.
Or the beer holder.
The old Admiral is on deck. Toot toot. Called Tugboat.
I'm in a giddy mood today.
I've completely lost my train of thought.
Do you think that it's slightly intentional to because they are really trying to establish it as the third brand. When I speak to casual fans, they still think of it as like the developmental leagues. But I think especially doing stuff like having Charlotte challenge Rhea Ripley, and not make it seem as though she's going down to NXT.
Yeah.
She's just going, oh, I could have picked Raw or SmackDown or NXT. It's like when they had the 3 champions from Raw, SmackDown, and ECW with The Undertaker choosing his opponent, and you were supposed to think that they were all the same.
Yeah.
It's just that again, I reckon.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to set up. Yeah, definitely. I think they've just totally let the reins loose on NXT. Do the best you can, knock it out of the park, have these great matches every single week, have these stare downs, pop the crowd, all this stuff. They're definitely letting them excel so that they can be elevated and so forth. But I would also argue that Raw has been a really quite great show this year as well. So, I think it's closer than a lot of people think.
Also, it's mentioned NXT, great to see Velveteen Dream back in action last night. And next week we're getting Tommaso Ciampa versus Austin Theory, which should be amazing. And in 2 weeks, if you like steel cages, you're getting another steel cage match. Dakota Kai versus Tegan
Wardlow.
Nox. Yeah. Right, second question today comes from Sounds_. It's either of fire or, as I would suggest, of fire. Sounds of fire on Twitter, who says, the only reason I need to see another Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic match is if Lee drops the title to Double D and goes into the NXT title hunt. Could you see that in the near future?
I think Keith Lee's future does indeed involve the NXT Championship, and I think he should have been in that picture really immediately after Survivor Series. Didn't care, unfortunately, for the Ciampa program, didn't like the match. Keith Lee's the man. This Lee Dijakovic thing ran its course for me months ago. I've had enough. It's the same thing as Zack Sabre Jr. and Hiroshi Tanahashi in New Japan last year. 2 amazing wrestlers, 2 guys I love. Too many matches. It needs a change of circumstances. I think a title change would do that. I'm still not in.
I say this whenever we talk about Lee and Dijakovic on podcasts. I could legitimately watch them fight forever. I love it. I think they're so inventive and enjoyable. I still remember the first time, because I wasn't really watching NXT, they had that match with the monkey flip on Keith Lee that he just landed on his feet for. And I went, what's this? I need to see more of it. I'd still watch another Keith Lee Dijakovic match. I don't really need any build to it, to be honest. And I think if you have potentially a title match at TakeOver over WrestleMania weekend, if that's what you need, even if you just chuck another person in there, maybe make it a triple threat to just add a little bit of spice in there. Someone like Damian Priest, who's been circling around there, of course, recently. And I think you switch the title to Dijakovic, and then immediately after WrestleMania, Keith Lee drops into the NXT title picture very well.
Hell yeah.
Final question today comes from Matt Rains, who says, Mr. Andy
Legend.
H. Murray, the H stands for hand egg, which member of the WWE NXT AEW roster would you choose to be quarterback for your hand egg team?
Oh, God.
Surely Hangman Page would be mint for the Baltimore Bastards.
Yeah, he would, because he's a little hard-drinking bastard, isn't he? Or the Boston Beer Boys, he'd fit in well with them as well.
Who'd be your QB?
Oh, man, the QB is the throw-in guy.
Indeed it is.
The point guard, the man. Immediately when I look at wrestlers and go, who'd be a football player, I say Keith Lee, because he's an absolute mutant of a man. He's a monster. He's a physical specimen and an athletic freak. But if it's going to be like some kind of, that's really tough. I'm going to say, Zack Sabre Jr., because he's a really intelligent wrestler and he'd be able to spot all these runs and football things that people are doing and pick stuff out. But he's also really skinny. So the sight of him in his shoulder pads with his little shirt draping off, getting smashed by one of these monsters that plays hand egg would be hilarious. It's the best of both worlds. Intelligent play and getting wrecked. Because the times I've tried to watch the NFL and stuff, the most entertaining stuff to me has been watching people just battering into each other. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Concussions and stuff. I'm a ghoul. I'm a horrible person, whatever. But in short, I would love to see Zack Sabre Jr. playing a quarter pounder for the San Francisco Ferry Liners.
Nice. I thought when I read this question, Luchasaurus.
Oh, God.
Just I thought, it'd be great here. And then I thought, hang on, why would I pick him when I can have Marco Stunt be my quarterback?
Helmet would be
because
bigger
the whole
than him.
thing is, of course, tackling the quarterback, which means if he does get tackled, I can't remember, I think it's not another teen movie where a guy literally gets split in half because someone tackles him from each side. I think that's the film. But also, if that happens, great. I get to see him get murdered as much as I love Marco Stunt. Or you can't tackle him because he's too small. He's too little.
He's wriggling. He's running through your legs and going like that, and it's going.
Let's know who you want to see as your quarterback on your American football team and what they'd be called.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hit me with some of your recommendations, man.
Right, let's move on to today's and finally, officially, the best part of AEW Dynamite last night. And a massive shout out to Kid Icarus on Twitter, who attended the AEW Dynamite show in Atlanta last night, complete with signs. Not just any signs, 2 signs that was the entire introduction to the podcast actually each time.
It's like 200 words.
Also, a lovely sign telling people to follow all of us on Twitter, which we're very grateful. But my personal favourite from Kid Icarus was Butcher, Blade and Bunny? More like Baker, Spoon and Turtle. Am I right? Kid Icarus, you legend. Also, very quick shout out to whoever took the sign to NXT last night with the yellow jacket on it. Adam Cleary, very happy about that. But once again, thank you so much to Kid Icarus for that. And if you spot any other WhatCulture wrestling signs in your arena, please do take a photo and we'll give them a shout out on here. Let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Myself and the Dadley Boys with the Wednesday Night War coming a little bit later on today. Plus, just let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there, follow both of us. You can follow him at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for High Octane.
You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE, as I said. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching. We will see you soon.